Hi, welcome to another video. I'm Meg, the Holistic Fitness Coach, and in this video I want to talk about macros and why healthy eating isn't enough to get lean and toned and what to do instead, basically. So this video is especially for you, the woman who eats healthy and works out but doesn't see results from it, the woman who so desperately wants all her hard work in the gym and in the kitchen to pay off and finally become visible, and the woman who so badly wants to be in her lean, fit and toned dream body. And the reason why this video is especially for you is because I was in exactly the same situation as you before. I used to struggle so much with eating, working out, and for so many years I put so much effort. I was really trying to be perfect, to do everything in my power to finally reach my goals, but nothing that I was doing was really working. So it took me many years to finally find out what's working, and especially with some things, they really required me to unlearn certain things that I thought were true about building your dream body, eating, and also training. So my hope with this video is really to help you so that you can get there faster than me, that you don't need years to struggle and fail and try everything under the sun and completely exhausting yourself in the process. I wish I had material and videos like this one when I was younger to get me on the right path and to show me what's really working and why. So yeah, I hope this video will be helpful for you, so that at the end of the video you will know the essentials to build your dream body, you will understand what macros are and why they matter so much, and how to start making your meals to get to your dream body goals. And just a little disclaimer before we start. The information shared in this video is for educational purposes only. It's not intended to be medical advice and should not be relied upon as such. And no guarantees can be made regarding the outcomes of the methods or strategies discussed in this video. And you should always consult with a qualified healthcare professional before making any changes to your diet, exercise routine, or lifestyle. So to begin with, I want to talk about what lean and toned actually means, because these two words are usually what a lot of women think of when they think about their dream body, but usually we don't really think about what that actually means. They're just kind of these ideas that we have in our head, what we want the body to look like, but what does it actually mean to be lean and toned? So lean basically means that you have a relatively low amount of body fat percentage, and toned means having some visible muscle definition. Not bulky, not manly, but some muscle definition, some lines here and there, and a nice shape, right? So if we put these two words together, what the definition of the dream body or the goal body that we get is a sculpted, feminine looking body that is also maintainable long term, of course, because we don't want to starve ourselves, right, to get our dream body. We know as women in this day and age, we want to be healthy, we want to be strong, and we want to have a body that allows us to enjoy life to the fullest, but also look that way that we want it to look. And the problem for me for many years was that I used a very wrong approach to get there. Or basically I didn't get there because the approach was so wrong. And what I've learned over the years working with women is that many women actually use this approach that I also used, thinking that eating healthy especially is what will get them their dream body. And that's also what I used to think. So I thought I would just have to kind of heal my body, heal my soul, and eat very healthy, and I would just kind of get my hot looking body magically in the process. And for years, I was really only paying attention to how healthy something was. Um, and it obviously made me feel good in the inside. I was healthy. I didn't really get sick. My hair looked nice. But I so desperately wanted to be in my dream body, and that just didn't happen from eating healthy, which is actually something that many women figure out after years of just focusing on eating healthy. They realize, wow, I've been, making all these healthy choices. I spend a lot of money on good quality food, on supplements. I take care of my fiber and my vitamins. So it's really frustrating because you think you're doing everything right, but then you look in the mirror and you do not see the changes that you thought you were going to see with this approach. Over time, I realized that eating healthy doesn't equal dream body results. And it wasn't until I learned about macros when literally everything shifted for me. And that's why I want to help you understand about the importance of macros in this video. I know for sure they have changed my life, and I know that they can change your life. And that's also something that I help women with in my coaching, to include macros in their life and get them to their goals. So what are macros? Macros are protein, carbs, and fat, the so-called macronutrients that make up every single food that you are eating. And each of these macronutrients has a different function in the body, though they are all important for optimal health. To simplify it for you in the context of training and building your dream body especially, protein is what we need to build muscle, carbs are to fuel the workout, and fat is there for just optimal health and especially optimal hormonal health, which we obviously also need to make sure that everything is running smoothly in our body. You have probably heard about calories, and if you are anything like me, then you have probably also tracked or counted calories before, and perhaps you're doing it at this point. And I want to go a bit into why tracking macros is superior compared to just tracking calories. So calories were kind of considered for a long time as the holy grail of weight loss, because they obviously show you how much you eat in total. However, what calories don't do and what macros do instead is show you where your calories are coming from, which is very important to consider when you want to build your dream body, because again, going back to the previous slide, each macro has a different function in the body, and especially carbs and protein are there to build muscle and fuel the workout. And eating the right amount of each macro is the secret tool to change your physique. So by hitting certain amounts of each macro, we can change our body composition, meaning the amount of muscle mass compared to body fat, and thus influence our metabolism, our physique goals, and our overall health. By hitting only certain calorie goals, we can lose weight or gain weight by lowering calories or increasing calories, but we cannot influence where the weight gain or weight loss is coming from, right? Because, just going back to the slide again, we need protein to build muscle, and we need carbs to fuel workouts. And if we don't make sure to eat enough, especially of these two macronutrients, we will never be able to build more muscle and lose more fat. And now still you might be wondering, I tried so many things. Why, of all things, would macros be the secret thing that finally can help me? And what I want you to think of when building your dream body is building a house. So, in this house building metaphor, calories are the total amount of materials and resources, which are important to build your dream house. But to get the results that you want, building your dream house, you also need to know how many bricks do I need, how many workers do I need to help build these bricks together, and what else do I need to make sure the process goes smoothly and is doable, right? Just focusing on the total amount of materials and resources doesn't really guarantee that you're going to be able to build your dream house. You also need to have information about all these other things that are important, and be able to calculate these things so that you can really build your dream house. And going back to your dream body, proteins are like the bricks, okay? So without them, there's nothing to build with. Carbs are the energy needed to build that house. Without them, there's no way that the house is getting built. And fats are kind of like the supporting material that are also important to be able to build that house, such as cement and other things. I'm not really a dream house professional, but just to help you understand this a little better. And so without the right balance for the house building process, you have no clue if you audit the right amount of bricks, have the right amount of workers, and have enough resources to keep everything running smoothly in the background. And you likely end up with a very frustrating combination, such as too many bricks, not enough workers, and not enough other resources, or not enough bricks, too many workers, and too many other resources, and so on. So basically, just focusing on calories is like just focusing on, okay, what total amount of money do I need to spend on all these resources, but not looking at every individual material and other things involved, not tracking it, not going into detail to make sure that you actually build a dream house. Which is why only focusing on calories most likely will never get you to your results, because you need to be able to know and also track exactly how much of each of these building blocks you need to build that dream house. So coming back to eating healthy is great. It's actually essential, but it's not enough. To get your dream body, you need to eat mostly healthy, and you need to balance your macros. If you're not hitting enough protein, still scared of carbs, or if you're overdoing healthy fats, your dream body building project won't work. Just like you cannot build your house if you don't have the exact right amount of each of the materials and resources needed. Macros are basically how you go from eating healthy to being fit, lean, and toned, and healthy. And this is where most women get stuck. They learned eating a lot was bad, so the focus is usually on keeping everything rather low calorie. They eat healthy, but they don't eat enough protein to actually build muscle. They usually fear carbs, so they're constantly low on energy and stressed, because carbs are what gives us energy and can also help relieve stress. They tend to overdo healthy fats, which adds up fast because fats have a lot more calories than protein and carbs. And they go through horrible binge eating periods because their body screams for more, but then they try to suppress it again. And if they do track, they use it like punishment instead of a tool. For example, extreme calorie restriction after binging. And tracking usually in the sense of restricting calories, not in the sense of tracking macros, and making sure that they eat the right amount of the right foods. To set an end to this struggle, you need to first shift your mindset around food. You need to stop thinking that healthy eating is enough for your body to thrive, or that you can achieve anything being in a constantly low calorie state. Your body really needs nutrients, protein, carbs, and fats in the right balance. And that's what builds muscle, makes you look toned, raises your metabolism, and helps you finally eat with freedom. And second, you need to shift your mindset around your training. You need to stop thinking that you need to burn calories with your workouts and start seeing every workout as an opportunity to build muscle. It's true that burning calories burns fat, but if you have to do excessive cardio to do that, to be able to lose fat and basically starve yourself on low calories while mainly eating vegetables, clearly this cannot be the right path to get to your dream body, because again, your dream body is a place. It's not just a look, it's a place where you feel beautiful on the inside and outside by being able to enjoy life, to enjoy food, and not live with this feeling of restriction anymore. And so combining these two things, training in the right way and combining that with tracking macros, is what will get you that lean and toned dream body that you are after. I want to go a bit into why do we even need to build muscle? Muscle is essential to get that lean and toned look, right? Because as we discussed before, muscle is what actually gives you that tone, that shape and these lines. We want to have muscle to have the toned look. The more muscle you have, the higher your metabolic rate, which means you can eat more food without gaining excess body fat and keep looking lean. And not just for summer, but forever. So I'm sure by now you understand how amazing macros are and how you probably will want to include them in your life from now on. So how can you get started? First of all, aim for protein to be around at 1.5 to 2 grams per kg of your ideal body weight. So if you have a lot of fat to lose, if you're currently very overweight, then use your goal body weight, or let's say your healthy body weight as an orientation for protein. And then you set fat 25 to 30% of calories and let carbs basically fill the rest of your calories. So for example, you eat 2000 calories and weigh 60 kg. You put protein at 120, which is 2 gram per kg in this case. Fat at 60, which is 27% of overall calories, and carbs at 245 gram, filling up the rest of the remaining calories. And to track everything, you can use an app like MyFitnessPal. It's free in the basic version. And make sure to check your progress weekly and make changes as needed. If you want to have more tools, because obviously there's more to it, this is quite a personal decision as well. How much of each macro you need, how many calories you need to really get to your dream body, which is why I help women with that in my coaching. It's actually a simple and science-based process, but there's still a lot of fine-tuning needed and understanding the body, and obviously knowing how to also train in a certain way that gives you these results, and how and when to change macros. I will have a short separate video coming about how to exactly fill things into the MyFitnessPal app. I also have a free ebook that teaches you more about how to eat and train without restrictions. The link is in the box below. And if you want to learn more about my approach, which is called reverse dieting, basically coming out of dieting, watch my video about reverse dieting. The link for that is also in the description box below. The macro structure that I just mentioned, I use with myself and with all my clients. That basically turns healthy eating into actual results. And based on your goal, it's the best to change your macros from time to time. So, for example, if your goal is to simply be able to eat more without gaining fat, you need different macros and a different approach as compared to when you want to go through a dedicated fat loss phase or a dedicated muscle building phase. Because as I mentioned before, with different amounts of macros, we can influence different processes in the body because every macro has a different function. So eating a bit more of a certain macro increases a certain function, and eating less of another certain macro will decrease a certain function. So to lose fat, you have to use a different macro ratio than when you want to build muscle, obviously. And if this still sounds restrictive, then just know that macros doesn't mean eating less or cutting out foods. They are what actually gives you the freedom to eat bread, dessert, and your favorite meals, whatever you want, without any guilt. And having this safe structure is what can finally set you free from trial and error, never getting your results, binging and then restricting again, to finally seeing the results and choosing freely what you want to eat. If you have a macro goal, you can fill your macros with whatever food you want. You can choose if you want to fill your carbs with apple cake today and with plain rice tomorrow. Obviously, make sure that you eat generally healthy because we need to eat healthy food to also get all the minerals and vitamins. But you can choose from any food that you want and you don't have to restrict yourself anymore. And now obviously the macro formula I just shared is just a starting point. It is very essential and it can finally get you to your dream body. But your exact numbers depend on your weight, your muscle, your goals, your training, and your hormones. And that's why most women get stuck trying to do this themselves. And that's why coaching makes a big difference. I actually also had my own coach when I went through my first reverse diet, not just for macros, but also to make sure that I was really training the right way so that the food that I was eating was also used in the right way. We really need to make sure that we combine macros with the right training. That is basically that dream body formula. And if you want more help and feel that this is the missing piece on your dream body journey, in my one-on-one online coaching for women, I help you finally get your dream body through holistic support. So it's not just we're training together in the gym and that's it. There's actually a Monday to Friday personal WhatsApp support where you can ask me anything, share anything. We are in constant communication and contact to really make sure that you get the most support possible throughout this journey. You get a tailor to your training and macro plan, free access to the app with exercise plan, exercise videos, tracking your progress, and so on. You get the personal WhatsApp support, as I just mentioned, weekly check-ins to track progress and make adjustments. And you also get free access to workshops, masterclasses, and bonus material. So if you're ready to finally end this terrible trial and error situation that you've been in for years and finally start building the body that you want with professional guidance and someone who has been through it herself, then I would love for you to get in touch with me. You can fill out my client form below or send me a DM on Instagram if you want to have more info and learn how exactly I can help you. My coaching is only for women who are very, very serious about reaching the goals, because I only work with clients who are really ready to finally get to their goals. So this is already the end of this video. I hope you could learn something from it. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to learn more, know more about my coaching, about training and nutrition, then follow me on Instagram. I'm the Holistic Fitness Coach. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out the links that I have put in the box below. Have a wonderful day. Bye.